Hello and welcome to this Business New Zealand update for February the 17th. I'm Grant Walker and I'm joined by Business New Zealand CEO Kirk Hope. Well, there's a lot to talk about. I don't really know where to start. Let's start with the minimum wage. It's going up as expected to $21.20 an hour. The timing, though, not really good, is it?
No, really terrible actually. It's a kick in the guts for a lot of businesses who are already struggling. They won't be able to pass on that cost. We advise the government that they should put a hold on the minimum wage increases. Obviously, look, there's a group of people at the bottom of the wage spectrum who will get the uplift, but it's got to be paid by someone.
All right, Jacinda Ardern is going to lead a US trade delegation planned for May, focusing on high-tech exports, and of course America is our third highest trading partner behind China and Australia. So what do we have to offer the US in this area?
Actually quite a lot. What the Americans have is a lot of capital and what we have is a lot of IP. So I think there's a really good opportunity. If you think about companies like Xero, they've raised most of their capital in places like the US. After they created the business, capital was raised in New Zealand, but beyond that, for growth, they've raised the capital out of the US. So that's an important capital market for New Zealand. I met with an amazing company called Halter, for example. Their product removes the need for electric fences. They have a collar that works on cars with vibrations and sounds. And most of their capital came out of the US. An incredible company, huge market. It frees up time and capital from farms, from farmers who are already under a lot of strain. So I think there's a massive amount of opportunity in the US, and we have to think about two things: one, the capital, and two, the ability that those investors have to bring scale to New Zealand products, and particularly in services.
All right. We're in phase 2 of this New Zealand Omicron response. Now, daily cases, they have breached the thousands. Now, you've been talking to the government. There seems to be a feeling that Grant Robertson might do some sort of package, but you'd be wanting more than just a one-off payment, wouldn't you?
Oh, I think you're going to have to look at sort of ongoing support, particularly as more and more people are actually taken out of the economy by the rules around self-isolation. I just have to give a shout out actually to Hospitality New Zealand, Julie White, and Marissa Bidwar from the Restaurants Association, and Greg Harford and Amy Hines at Retail New Zealand. They've been working incredibly hard to get support for all those businesses that have been hit by this shadow lockdown effectively.
I mean, those figures that came out this week saying that in retail and hospitality down 30%.
Well, and that's kind of an average number. So there will be businesses who are down 80%. Really, really hard operating environment. You layer on top of that the prospect that in April they're going to have to pay 6% more for their workforce. And there are a lot of, I think, really desperate people out there now.
All right, look, I just want to briefly end on what's happening at Parliament at the moment. We're into week 2 already, and the protests now, of course, they're in Christchurch, they're in Picton, and in other areas, but particularly talk about Wellington. Businesses again being decimated by all this. Briefly, your thoughts on it?
Need to shut it down, move them on. Businesses that are already suffering are getting more hard hit because of these protests. Need to get rid of them.
All right, well, look, the next few weeks and few months are not going to be easy, but we will keep you all in the loop, and we'll talk to you as we need to. Thanks, Kirk.